What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Banter. And this is episode 41. We're talking about an underrated gem, in my opinion, here. A little Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. I really had envisioned, if we talked about this movie, to be way further down the road. I even thought if we did a Van Damme movie, it would definitely be one of his movies in his younger years. But something happened. I won't say what, because we're probably still going to do this review. But something took place to where we couldn't review the movie. We had to work on the fly, and we needed a short movie because we didn't want to be held up too long before the review. So in thinking on the fly, I was like, here's a movie, Rodney, that I actually was wanting you to see for some time now, since you were of the mindset that Van Damme couldn't act like most people. And I was like, let me show you one of his newer movies that would turn around. And I'm like, yeah, do we do that yet? I'm like, man, it's an hour and 26 minutes. It is a quality movie. And maybe we should, we always do these recommendations. So why not have the off-the-cuff one that you maybe or may not should have seen? Am I blinded by fandom? Is Rodney going to be like, this is a heap of shit? Find out on the next episode of Box Office Banter. Cut it right.
Boom.
I'm just playing. Okay, that's right now, bitches. All right. So, The Bouncer. I love the tracking shot with that thumping beat playing behind Van Damme. Like, immediately. Just watching him walk and that doom, doom. I almost want to do the tap. I don't know if that sounds distorted, so I'm going to avoid that.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom. Boom.
Boom. Almost like the person from fucking Boom, Boom, Boom from, Couples Retreat. Yes, encouragement. Yeah, do that shit. Completely different movie. Yeah. And no words needed, man. Like, you can tell Van Damme is lost just by his face. Like, he's on fucking autopilot. He's just looking around like, I might even be half dead. I'm just out here living, and I don't really know why. But you find out why, to an extent, as the movie goes on. Rodney.
Yeah, any kind of movie that starts off like this, I immediately am attracted to. It's,
Yeah.
The way to describe it, I guess, is the movie starts like really no credits or anything. The credits go through the scene, but it starts right off him walking down the hallway with this beat that Brandon was just talking about. It's actually really solid. Like this whole scene, the club scene, because he's walking into a rave is what it is.
Yeah.
And the realism
of
the rave scene, by the way, was really good.
On
like
point.
The way they, because he's a bouncer, obviously.
Yeah. It's in the title right here. Although I do like the overseas title of just his name, Lucas. I think that's better.
With a K.
Yeah, the Lukas.
Yes, but yeah. He's a bouncer, but they're not really showing you that this man is a badass, which I kind of liked. I like that they didn't have any kind of look, which you did warn me before we watched the movie. You said this is not your normal.
Yeah, I tried to repeat that
Van
over
Damme.
and over again, so you knew that.
Right.
Like, just pay attention. This is not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way.
And he said it was a drama, and dramas are definitely my weakness. So,
yes.
So yeah, and like he's not this badass that Van Damme is usually in his movies, but he's more of just like a quiet, like Brandon said, just like lost autopilot all the way, 100%. And but the first little scene is like him in there, and this girl like kind of faints or passes out, got too drunk. Yeah. And the way they handled that, the way they handled getting her out, it wasn't excessive. It wasn't like dramatic. It was just real. Like it was like being at a rave and watching a girl that's too drunk get carried out. And it was, I just like the groundedness of it.
Yeah,
of that scene.
Cutting back and forth between scenes of like
yes.
to the boom, boom, boom. And then it's showing all this crazy, chaotic, we're having the time of our lives type shit. And then Van Damme's just like...
just chilling.
Looking around like, who's about to fuck up?
There was no music playing at all.
Nah,
He's just standing there.
Just chilling, dude. Yeah, and you just get the vibe. This is kind of what I was talking about. That this man is surviving, like once you first leave the first club scene, that he is purely surviving on routine and the love of his daughter. Those two things are the only things keeping him going. And you kind of, later on, it reveals some shit, why he would be this upset and why he would cling to his daughter and why he would be this guy that's a bouncer kind of down on his luck, not making much money. There's a lot of not like shove it right in your face in this movie. It kind of just slowly peels it back, and it maybe even some stuff you might not catch on the first time. Then you watch it again, kind of like I kind of explained how I felt about the ending. I guess I'll reveal that. You kind of had a different perception at first. I don't know if you still have that perception, but I kind of explained what I actually feel like wholeheartedly this movie is going for. And when I first watched it, I kind of was like, is this what they're doing? Is this? Now I feel 100% that this is what the movie is going for. But that is for a later topic, dude. And yeah. So he goes back to the club, of course, because he had that little break. He sees this dude. He's already starting shit. He's kind of watching from a distance, waiting to see if he fucks up again, right?
Well,
It's a whole macho,
his drink on old girl.
yeah, macho looking fucker, and he don't know what's going on, but he knows this guy's a douche. I mean, you didn't have to see the little whatever altercation before. You can just see this guy and be like, I'm gonna watch him because he's a douche. If you really want to be stereotypical, and he, of course, a douche is gonna douche. He does a douchey thing by throwing a drink all over people, and Van Damme immediately walks over there, grabs him up by his ear like he's a little kid.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and he's like, come on, go. And then he finally gets in the back room, and the guy's just like, you don't know who the fuck I am, man. You don't know what you're fucking with. And he's like, calm down. Just calm down. Get back. And he just keeps talking like, you're not, like, you're fucking with me? You don't know who I am, bro. And this all could have been avoided. This is over some bitch. And then he tries to attack him, and Van Damme.
But then he says, like you.
Yeah, like you. And Van Damme doesn't really even do anything other than like taking him by his ear, getting where he needs to be. You learn in this movie Van Damme doesn't want to hurt people. That's a clear thing as the movie goes on, but he will if he has to. He's one of those person, you push him to the brink, he's going to do what he needs to do. And he basically just does what a lot of people don't know to do. People, when somebody's getting charged at, they're always like, oh my God, what do I do? Sometimes you just need to move the fuck out the way. He just was like, whoop, deflect, and dude just goes, and he starts bleeding immediately. It hit his head on like the corner or something. And Van Damme has a look on his face like, this ain't good. I mean, he might be dead. I don't know what this is going to be. And his buddy comes over, and he's like, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. Which leads to him getting out of there.
Out, yes.
Yes, sir. Then what happens, Rod Dizzle? He's like, hold on, let me check.
So,
He's got notes.
I do.
Today,
I have
son.
notes.
Which is weird. You take notes for the movie we literally just watched. But any other movies you can't remember, you're just like, yeah, just going to go in blind.
Yeah, well,
I don't understand
talking
your
about
methods.
him helps my memory, and whereas like, and this one's so fresh that I forgot most of what happened. But I know if you start talking about it
already,
no, but
I just watched it 2 seconds ago. I don't remember any of it. I think it's a good one, maybe. I don't know. It's coming back. I don't know. We'll see.
So yeah, the job offer. So the guy felt bad because So the guy that was with Van Damme after the incident,
Yes,
showed up at Van Damme's place and basically was like, "Hey, you know, you gonna be okay?" He's like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "I need to get a job." Well, Buddy was like, "I can hook you up with a job if you need a job, and if you're interested," which already sounds shady,
Yeah,
you know, sketchy as
sketchy-ish.
So, but yeah, so Van Damme, you know, takes it, which leads to the strip club where he is going to be bouncing now.
Mm-hmm.
And this leads to my favorite scene of the movie.
Okay.
And he walks in, just like the beginning of the movie is just him walking in with, you know, the guy that he's supposed to be going to this job interview for. You know, they're walking in through the strip club. He's explaining things to him and going down the stairs and, you know, gets to the bottom of the steps. And, you know, there's like 5 guys, you know, in the room.
Chilling.
And dude just puts his hand on Van Damme's shoulder and is like, all right, last man standing gets the job.
Yeah.
And Van Damme just looked at everybody in the room, and then dude just comes out with a left uppercut, smacks dude. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was so like out of no, like
It
he would
was.
not be ready
I
for
loved
that.
it.
Like it was like, oh, we're in this now. And I gotta tell you, the fight isn't your classic Van Damme
Not at
fight at
all.
all. He throws some kicks, but it's like to like the fucking, you know, like what the fuck, like quad type area, fucking, or right in the thigh.
He does a
like,
Spartan kick.
Yeah, and he does like, you know, that little front kick to the stomach, the Spartan kick. But it's not like, I mean, even in his old age, he can still do those high kicks. He might not be able to do the helicopter
You can tell
kick.
it's wearing though. He's getting old. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell.
For sure. He's definitely getting older. I think he's had like hip surgery and shit now too.
Jesus.
But the thing is like it's still a good fight. It like feels like just your ultimate bare knuckle brawl. There's a lot of little creative choices in it I like too. How like the big dude just like pops him and he lays down and he's like hearing his like ears ringing and he's like bleeding everywhere. And his drive, I always come back to that. I think it's just his daughter. It's like he's hearing the ringing and you can see beyond him. It's almost like blurry. In the background, the camera's coming in and out of focus, and this big old black dude's just fucking knocking people out. Excuse me. And then he basically, as Van Damme's like, I got to get up, and he kind of snaps out of it, comes to.
Which was a very edge of your seat scene, by the way, moment.
Yeah, and that dude power bombs, the black dude power bombs somebody, and, you know, you'd call it over, but Van Damme knew he had to get up in that moment or it'd be done. And he kind of starts, you know, he's filling him out and he's like punching him. And he goes and does that Spartan kick and sees like that guy just looks down at his stomach. And you're just like, this is a big fucking dude. I don't know what he's going to do here. And he kind of like is kind of moving away, almost like trying to tire him out because he is a bigger dude. And he throws down like a little, I don't know if it was like a mini fridge or something. He throws something down in front of him. And then he comes around and I like just like the honesty of it. Like the big dude's just like, he puts his hand on his knees, and Van Damme's like, I'm going to take this time, too. And then when they come back, Van Damme, like, gets him in the stomach with, like, a kick, and then kind of, like, backs up, punches him, gets him in the stomach with a kick again, then hits him again, and just gets on top of him and starts hitting him, and then he starts choking him out. And you're like, oh, shit. On the ground when he wins, mind you. It's like, I'm the victor, so guess what? You're our guy, Mr. Van Damme. I'm not going to call him Lucas once in this entire fucking thing. It's Van Damme, dude. That's just a name right there. I feel like it's so hard to just go into characters. Now, there's bigger names in him, but I feel like action stars don't have, like, legendary characters that much. It's just, that's their brand is the name. So it's hard for me to separate that. And then, of course, he gets tied up with, I might be pronouncing this motherfucker's name wrong, the fucking Zarul guy or whatever, he's trying to wrap him up in some more shit. Like, if this dude's already desperate, trying to find some money, ends up in this fight. Now he's like, I don't even know if I want to do this, but I'm in it now. And this Zarul dude is just making him proposals and shit and fucking up his life. What the fuck is this? Have I not been through enough?
So then, for all of you Van Dammians out there,
Get him.
Van Damme has chest hair in this movie.
Okay. I didn't know he was really going to write that down. It really happened.
He has chest hair in this movie. I've never seen him in any movie he's been in where he always shaves like his arms, his legs,
bare.
everything. Like he shaves everything. And he's like I don't know, just hairless. That's what he's always been.
He's just older now.
Yeah, he just don't care anymore.
I think it fits the character too. Like, why would this character just like shave like it? He seems like a character that keep a clean shave because he's got a routine, but he's also not gonna be like, let me nair. Like that's not gonna be what his character does. Lucas does in this movie. And man, dude,
he can't cut carrots.
No, that was a thing too you didn't like. I mean, he had it right, but it wasn't quite right. And I don't know how to cut carrots.
It's a problem.
I feel like that's just like a regular thing though that people like. But he has the knowledge. I've been cutting stuff my whole life. It's better to go from this angle. I don't think everybody's just fucking over here like able to cut carrots. Like they just know. I mean, yeah, I don't know like that. You legitimately like, oh, that kind of butt. That's gonna take a point away. Like, what?
How about you guys in the live chat? Y'all know how to cut carrots?
No. Do you know how to cook carrots, or do you know how to cut carrots?
Cut.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you said cook. Yeah, he's basically showing his daughter. She's like, I can't cut it, which he does like start from the top and go bam. And Ronnie's over there like, you gotta have that other hand for support,
You have to put it
which
down.
is cool. But I don't think everybody knows that. I think that's just a dad like, well, this is how I've done it, and I found this is easier. I haven't actually like Googled or been taught myself, but let me show you my life lessons. This is how I've always done it. It works, but Rodney's gonna make it lose a whole point for not being able to cut carrots. Oh, damn, dude. How could you ever do a job like this? Especially when you're in charge of an asset that seems so important like Lisa. Because it's not just like fucking shit up. Like that bitch could choke on a chicken wing in a room like and you're like, oh no.
You can't do this to me.
Good God, come on, wake up. Yeah, and then you know what? Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, look, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't protect her from herself.
Yeah, you couldn't shot.
The dude like, you protect her from herself. He's not Russian. You know, he's gonna still be pissed. Like, you let her choke on a chicken wing for real. Well,
chicken wings. I mean, it can happen.
Yeah, you never know.
Anybody.
Yeah, but that's kind of fucked up. Like, there's no way I could do that. The pressure, good Lord. And then you get the bad guys. They're chilling outside. You first get to meet, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Is that like Jan?
Hold on. Oh, yeah. Juan is
Juan,
bald
Jan,
guy.
Juan, Jan Don Juan.
Might have been Jan, actually.
I think because it's Jan, so I think it's Jan. Juan Jan, Don Von, Don. Juan, you kind of really get to see him for the first time. I don't know if it's his first appearance on the screen, but it's like the first time you get to hear him, like, really, I feel like, open up and talk. Maybe there's one scene before that that I'm blanking on. And old dude in the back, Geert, he's over there. Geert, buddy, Geert. He's got a knife to his throat, just trying to figure out who you are. And Van Damme's got one number in his phone, which to them's probably, this shit looks suspicious. What the fuck is this? This don't seem like a real phone. You have one number in your phone, because that would tip me off to, like, this ain't your real phone. You have one number in your phone proving it's not your real phone. This is your contact that was given to you by somebody, and that is their number, so you have it to save.
We forgot to go over that somebody.
Who?
The detective guy.
No, I did. I talked about him.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, I forget how to say his. That was the other dude's name I couldn't pronounce. I was like, then you got this Zarul guy trying to rap.
Oh, that's who you were talking about.
Yeah, wrapping him up in some shit.
He was not believable to me, by the way. Like,
think so?
interrogating, I did not like that, at all.
I think it could be, too, because it was kind of dubbed.
Oh, yeah.
There was a weird...
What version?
This is, this isn't an actual, like, DVD or Blu-ray. This is put together by, see how it says DVD and shit? It's like, it's like basically almost like a bootleg copy that's pretty much legit. Because when this came out, there's probably a copy available now, but it was only on demand, and this was the only way to get it early, and I'm like, I'm buying it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I have the same thing with Summer of '84. It works for what it is. It's not bad. But what the fuck was I saying before we ended up back on Zero? Jan or whatever, dude. Lil Jan. He what the fuck was I gonna say about him? Well, let's just say they had the knife to the neck. They figured out, and they made the phone call. And it was his daughter, which I thought was actually kind of badass. Like, he literally just has a phone, and the only person in his phone is his daughter. Something about that's cool to me.
I thought it was going to be that
Yeah.
Zeroni.
Yeah,
I'm just going to call him Zeroni.
Yeah, Zeroni, Madam Zeroni.
Holes. Yeah.
Yeah, old Zerone over there. Yeah, well, I thought that was really dope how they did that, because it was like your classic, like, who's this? And it was like, it was believable that they would think that, but in a weird way with his relationship with his daughter, you could believe that this character who only cares about his daughter would have just his daughter in his phone. Like, he just seems like that basic guy that'd be like, it's my daughter. So it worked for me. I like that a lot. And the bad guys in this that you would call Geert and Jan, I think they're really effective. I'm not really necessarily afraid of Geert. I'm afraid of him in the way I feel like he's somebody that would fly off the handle and shoot me at any second. Like, he might make just a call on his own, be like, I'm just tired of this motherfucker, and shoot me in the back of the head. He was really good at giving those vibes. And then the other dude, Jan, I thought was legitimately just like a scary guy. Like, I thought he did a really good job. I thought he was really intimidating in ways that make sense but almost don't make sense. Like, the way he would word shit. Like, he would talk to you and be like, oh, your daughter's here. We'll get to something like that. But he's talking about it. Your daughter's here, huh? Like, you got a daughter? She lives here? And you're kind of like, I don't know what to say. Do I say no? Does he know I have a daughter? Like, he catches you like in a mind fuck. He always catches you backpedaling the way he words shit. Like, what's your daughter's name? And you can see Van Damme's like, if I lie, I don't know. Sarah? Like, shit. Like, I don't know what to say. And he's like, you leave her here alone all the time? And he's asking questions. And that's like, fuck. Like,
those are sketchy questions.
Yeah, it's like he's just always doing shit like that. That makes you know that he means business. But then he'll follow that up with like, here, have my car. You can keep it. And it's like, it's almost like you can feel like, oh, he's embracing me, but he's also like trying to win you over to keep you on his side, but really he's ready to just cut your throat, kidnap your kid. You have all these negative things. It's such a weird balance that he keeps you off kilter with that I think that character does a very good job with. And oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, those gifts, dude. They blind you from the danger in the way to me. And what I'm into would start to get me realizing I fucked up more. Like if I'm him, and more as my daughter like came into play. Like the more I'm looking at it as Van Damme, I feel like by the time you get to that scene where he's saying that shit, you're just realizing, like, dude, am I in too deep here? Like, what did I do? Now they're talking about my daughter. I wonder how many, like, questions were popping in his head at that point. Like, what the fuck? Here, he's right here. Let me ask, what were you doing? I don't know what you were. You had good heart in the moment, but I don't know for sure, buddy. Like, that just, he probably knew in a way he fucked up. He was probably thinking, I can handle this, but I'm in it deep now. So I definitely think that was a problem. And then do you have a note for what's next? I'm over here like wondering. I'm like, does Rodney?
So my next note.
What is your next note?
I love how unknown he is. I love like going way back. Well, not way back, but to where the knife to the throat and everything.
Yeah.
And they were like, we just want to know who you are because nobody. Yeah. And then going back to this. Zeroni, it's like
You're really
we don't know who you are. Like, you know, you have no last name and your daughter goes to school with a fake last name. So I love how unknown he is. But my next one was for real on staying in the car. He would fuck everything up. Talking about Geert when they go to do the raid.
Okay, before that, we definitely have to jump in.
Yeah, so you go on and...
Yeah, what happens is he pulls up and he's like, I need to talk to you right now. And then that's what Jan says to Van Damme. He's picking his daughter up. And he brings his daughter up, and he's wondering kind of what's going on, and Jan's telling him to get out of the car. And Van Damme even gives a look back like, I'm leaving my daughter in the car, but I'm also like, what do? I can't act suspicious. I can't act weirded out.
Right.
I don't know how to handle this situation. And then when he walks inside... A couple minutes goes by, and you just hear "Dad," and then he just takes off, dude.
Words
like,
of horror.
Yeah, like, and he sees the car spin out, and then he runs back in, and
he like walks fast, so he doesn't even run. He's just like, oh, I'm about to fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah,
up.
and Geert comes over, and is like, why don't you not worry about it? And he just fucking took his gun away from him, effortless as fuck, and just slammed him against the door. He's like, I'll fucking kill you. You get my daughter, I'll kill him. I'll kill everybody. You do not touch my fucking daughter. And basically, Geert talks him down. He's like, if you want to see your daughter alive, I'd really recommend you not doing this. And he's like, fine, and kind of pulls away aggressively, dude. And I thought that was a great scene. And that then leads to the raid that you speak of.
Which, in the car before the raid, I guess because of how Van Damme just reacted to Geert, such a weird name to say.
Yeah, Geert.
Yeah. But the way he reacted to him,
Geert.
he's like cool now-ish, cool-ish with him. So like in the car, he was like, you know, what's going on? And he explained everything to Van Damme.
Yeah.
And was like, you know, we need to go in here and get this guy. And this scene, first of all, he tells Geert's like, you got a better fucking plan?
Yeah.
And Van Damme's pretty much like, yeah, you just stay in the car. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the best idea he's had this whole movie.
Yes.
Because this Geert fellow is bound to mess something up.
He's going to fuck up.
Yeah.
And he's also, like I said, probably thinking, like, if he dies, that's another problem I have.
Yes.
I bring back a dead Geert.
Geert?
Then that might not be good, but like, no. Like, this is a done deal, but you don't bring... You bring Geert back dead, and your daughter's dead. That's a part of the deal. Like, you know, there's a lot going on right here. He's just like, just stay the fuck here, bro. Let me handle this shit. And I got to tell you, man, that's got to be so intense having to walk up in a house like that.
Oh, my
And you
God.
know it's dangerous.
Not knowing how many people are in there.
Yeah, you don't know who's in there. The music's going again, the boom, 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 boom. And he's just kind of like casing the place out, looking around corners. There's a dog that runs up on him on a chain. He's like, what the fuck is this? Boom, boom. Music's kicking in. It's like, shit.
Yeah. He said, he even asked him in the car, he's like, how many people? And Geert is like, I don't know. Yeah. It's like,
that's what led to you got a better idea?
Right. So, but yeah, the scene is when Van Damme raids this house, and it's completely audioless, and it's beautiful. I mean, he's like punching people, like kicking people, like pushing them against the wall and everything. It's all so intense, but no sound.
No.
And it kind of really sucks you into the movie more. At least for me, it did.
Yeah.
You know?
The only thing you could hear at any point in any of those scenes was the fucking music, because I think you have the music going boom, boom.
I think it
boom.
like turns up and turns down as the scene goes on.
What it is when he first sees those two people, it even adds in another beat to go. It's like shit's hitting the fan with the boom, boom, and you can see him. You can see him talking, but it's not audible. He's
That's what I'm thinking of. Is that
he's like over there like mouthing shit to him, and he tells one dude to move out of the way, and he's taking one dude downstairs, and they start getting shot at by a shotgun. He's fucking booking it,
which is an awful shot too, dude.
Yeah,
he missed like 5 shots.
Yeah. And then he does get outside, and I love what he does with like that last guy with the shotgun. Like he kind of like goes like ping ping, like shoots two like right next to his head, and then he's just like tell him like ditch it and get inside. It's almost like he turned around like, man, what the fuck you think you're doing? Like, dude, you're gonna hurt yourself, bro.
I'm trying to save you here.
Yeah, just put the shit inside. I'm trying to spare you, which again shows that he doesn't really want to kill unless he has to. And I got to tell you, dude, my stepdad, Kelly, said this shit, and I agree. Like, Van Damme has one of the best, like, intense stares. Like,
crazy eyes.
Like, there's just something, like, he just has this natural way of, like, looking at you that just says, like, it's one of those things, like, if you started some shit with somebody and you turn around and you made it face-to-face, you'd have questions, even if you're the baddest motherfucker, because you're like, this dude's been through some shit. Like, look at his fucking face, dude. Like, you can see beyond his look that you're like, this dude's been through everything. Am I ready to go toe-to-toe with this guy? I think he kills it in that aspect, dude. And then afterwards, of course, they make up. Oh, the kid's okay. That's good, you know, at least for now. Does she die? Oh, my God, who knows? We'll get to that. Yeah, spoilers everywhere. He goes to have a shot with Jan, and he got to meet with Ozaroni, his rule, who told him, you're still in. You got to do this, because he's always hitting his punching bag, and meets him with that, which I like the punching bag scenes.
Part of the routine.
Yeah, that's good shit. He's getting out them demons and shit. But he has to go back in, and he says, I want more. No, I'm in, but that can never happen again. And he, like, takes a shot. He stares at him, like, the whole shot, and he's like, I promise. And it feels like I'm looking at you directly, but it feels so empty. And, man, I would not trust that shit at fucking all. I'm like, he's going to fucking kill my kid any chance he gets. Because this dude, he plays, like, honestly, as the movie goes on and gets more and more, he plays, like, the perfect, like, gangster type of person. Like, he's really good at the way he words stuff and invoking fear while also being amazing at, like, giving you stuff and gaining your loyalty. Like, he does such a good balance of that, and I think that's what makes the best gangster. He's not about bullshit. He's going to fucking help you out. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, but I'm also not going to put up with anything. I could be your best friend 1 minute, the next minute I could be shooting you in the head. Doesn't take much, buddy. So stay on fucking line. So I love that about that Yawn character.
Did you notice whenever they were doing the shots, he says he trusts him, but the whole entire time that they're taking the shot, Buddy never takes his eyes off of Van Damme.
Yeah,
like,
that's
not
what I was
one
saying.
time.
He does like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that adds to it, too. I thought that was great. It kicks him with the boom. No, I'm just playing. It doesn't, but they do that like a lot, which is great. Then they end up at the parking garage, which was another, nice little scene.
I was like 50-50 on it.
Really? Yeah, I saw a few moments where you were like, yeah, like tell me what you liked and didn't like about it.
So I like the concept of the scene itself. So a parking garage chase scene is what it is, which is awesome on paper for sure. Something that would be very difficult to execute. So I do give them props on the scene, because it was a good scene. It just I had a couple issues with the.
There was one scene in particular at the beginning of the scene that you groaned, and I was like, "Don't tell me he's saying this." So I'm curious to see.
What did I? Okay, yeah, I just went to one note on that one. On this scene. What did?
Do you remember
the beginning? Was it during the deal?
Yeah, the deal, and he like kicked dude away, and then Van Damme took off.
Why would he risk fucking all this up?
For me, I think that is not him risking fucking it up. For me, when I watched that, when he did that,
Explain to them what happened real quick.
Okay, well, basically, they're dropping dude off that he captured. You know, there's a little deal going on. The rendezvous point is this fucking garage. And Van Damme's walking up, and you got to think this is a moment where Van Damme is like, I want out. I want no part of this. I want out. I want no part of this. So he's already half out as is. He's got to go back, and he's like, I want more money. But you know he still isn't in it completely. And then he's walking up with the guy, and guy's like, don't do this. They're going to shoot me, and they're going to kill you right after. And I think in that moment, you can see in Van Damme's face, he's like, that's exactly what's going to fucking happen. They're going to fucking shoot us as soon as I fucking give him this guy. So in the moment, he was like, I have no other choice. And he fucking kicks dude away and just gets the fuck out of there because he knows as soon as yeah, you could fuck up a deal potentially, but that's a judgment call because you're sitting there like, he knows, he's already feeling that. He's already seen just how dangerous this can get. He already wants out. And then you combine with that, knowing how real these people are and having a dude not seeming like he's bullshitting. He doesn't have to say, like, all this shit. Like, he genuinely, it seems like he means it, like, and you're dead, too, as soon as you give him to him. And he walks up, and in the moment, I think Van Damme is looking at these guys like, that's exactly what's about to fucking happen. So he just says, fuck off, and he gets the fuck out of there because that's his only fucking choice. And then the car chase happens.
I don't know. I just, I figured there was so much on the line that maybe that wasn't the smartest move to do that. Maybe to just take that chance on, you know, dude being right or not. Because, I mean, you got to, it would almost be like a 50-50. Like, going to that garage, you were going to die either way. If the deal went wrong because he did what he did, then maybe Jan wanted to kill him because of the deal going bad. But then he could have got killed for walking away after doing the handoff. And so I felt like either way he would have died after.
Yeah, I think it's the combination of, all right, on the fly, I'm thinking about it, I'm in it now, I got dude telling me something that I honestly believe, like I believe it. I know as soon as I give this to them, they're going to kill me. I already won out. I've seen what everybody's capable of. I got my daughter back. I don't even know what I'm doing still. I'm listening to this fucking cop guy, like, do I want this? Do I do this? He's got a million things running through his head along with making a deal go right. And then you got a guy telling him he's going to shoot him, and then he's like, oh, fuck, he's right in the moment. And he's keeping talking to him, and Van Damme's probably like, what do I do here? What do I fucking do here? And he has a moment where I think a lot of people would be like, fuck this fucking shit, and just kicks him. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm living to see another day. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see what happens next, but I'm not getting fucking shot.
You realize every time Van Damme throws a right hook, he folds whoever he hits?
Yeah.
Every single time with that right hook. And that's what he does. Like, in this scene, he, like, hit dude and he just fell to the ground. Yeah, and then this might have been what I did, is it took dude so long to fire at Van Damme after he knocked Buddy out. He knocked Buddy out, and then Van Damme almost got back to the car before the other guy that Van Damme didn't even really touch.
I'd have to look at it again. I know he almost got back to the car, and the glass broke out on that shot, but I don't know for sure.
There was two guys standing out of the other car.
Yeah. I don't know if no, I'm not debating. Like, if that was the first shot, that was late for sure. Like, unless they were really like, late. Good Lord, I didn't expect that. But like, there's only so much plausibility.
I mean, unless maybe they had to run to the car to get a gun. You know, which then in turn, it's like, okay, so they weren't gonna shoot him if he.
Well, those two dudes that were right there, they kicked into him and all that. I don't know. Maybe
so
they.
Anyway,
were
the car chase happens, and it was good, and it was.
And imagine, like, how bad your heart would drop when you did that whole park thing.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like.
Really, I didn't mind that at all.
He has a shattered back window. His car is like putt-putt and screeching and shit, and you think they're not going to see you?
Well, I don't think you could get away with it if they're really checking, like, everything. He's probably anticipating, like, they're, like, in keep-up mode, like, where they're not even fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I think if he would have thought that they were going to ride by and look, that wasn't, like, his objective. His objective is, like, I got a chance here to duck off, and they're going to speed past thinking they need to catch up. That's the way I look at it. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you if you're like, they're on my ass, they're going to...
But they
right
weren't, though, is the thing. They were driving real slow.
Well, no, they were. They were on his ass, but he got a little bit of space. Because they were right behind him fucking firing out the window. And then he got that little bit of space, and he made a judgment call there, like, I'm going to stop, and hopefully they go past. And then they slowed down, and then it was like, fuck. And they were probably like, this ain't going to work, is it? And then they went by, almost like to fuck with him. And then they came back, and that was like, a fuck. And he's got to slam into the other car and get away. And, you know, they did, but Geert...
Oh, Geert
did not.
I love how he died off screen, though.
Yeah.
Off/on screen.
Yeah,
They didn't show him get shot, but you knew he was going. I called it out right before, like probably 20 seconds before it happened, because I just had that feeling, like the way he was shooting out the car. I was like, oh, he's being sloppy at this point. He's gonna get hit. And one to the neck, gone. But it was weird out because it's like 1 minute he's shooting his gun, and the next minute it's like this whole scene's happening, and then Van Damme looks over and dude's got a hole in his neck. I was like, I like how they killed him off screen like that.
Yeah, like in a lot of movies they'd be like, oh, I'm hit, and then he dies immediately. It's kind of like he, like you said, looks over like, fuck. And like I was telling you, dude, I hate how in movies people always do this when they're getting shot at. Dude, I would be as flat on the fucking floorboard as possible, dude. Like, that, you don't just have to do that. Unbuckle and fucking... I'd even be with my buddy in the front. You need to be ducking anyways. I'd be pushing his seat forward. Like, get as low as possible, guys.
I'm telling you, if I ever get involved in a shooting in my car...
Very likely.
I might have to just run because of training day. I told you this earlier. Because of training day, I will never just lean over while getting my car shot at.
I'm not getting shot in the asshole. What you said, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I said because you know one of those bullets is going to hit your asshole.
I immediately was like, I'd rather be shot in the fucking asshole, dude, sitting on a donut or
if
something.
If you're laying on your side and get shot in the asshole, that's going up through your body, out your head.
Yeah, probably. You know how bullets are. They'd be fucking like ding, 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 ding,
well,
ding.
Yeah,
maybe it comes out your fucking ass cheek, other side of your ass cheek or something. I'd rather that than like a definitive shot to the chest. You know what I mean? And who's saying you're getting shot in your asshole? It might hit your cheek. You end up like Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys 2, and you just got to fucking sit on a donut. It's a donut. Bring that review back, like our first one. Yeah, dude. And I would not be happy about bringing Geert to old Jan dead. The whole ride back, I'm like, how is this going to go? Is he going to shoot me now? I don't fucking know. We'll see how this pans out. Yeah, I would not enjoy that. And, man, all the shit shakes out. Shit's hitting the fan more. I don't know if you have any notes in between this. I haven't said it yet. You're over here like, let me see. And it's like when he drops off his daughter at his friend's, he drops her off basically because, you know, the fucking cops are more like ingrained, like, do it, all this shit. And he's just like, he's knowing that he might not make it back at this point. He's going to try, but he's leaving his daughter with essentially, I don't even, like, his best friend. Like, that's the only other person I can see that he noticeably cares about in this world. Him and his daughter, that's about it.
And dude offered to help him.
Yeah.
And he said no.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, another thing, which tells me you don't know the backstory on this guy, which also, after repeat viewings, doesn't make me as upset because that's something you were talking about. Like, why did he just let him go into that? You could see the stern look when they were talking amongst each other, and then he's like, you need me to help you. You could see the stern look then, almost like we're saying without saying, like, we've been through some shit together, but we don't know why that's going on. But you can feel that Van Damme was into some shit in the past, and so was this guy probably, and that's how they became best friends. So when he told him earlier in the movie, again, like less is more, he kind of was just giving him that stern look, I think, just telling him, you could feel the friction, like, I got a job for you. Almost like, you might not like it, but I know you can handle it, and it's up to you. All that saying without saying. So that's why, after more viewings, I don't really feel like he led him into some bullshit. He probably knew, yeah, this is a dangerous one, but when I tell Van Damme I got a job for him, he knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, this ain't no bouncer job. This is some shit that I know me and him can handle and he can handle. And I'm saying it this way because I don't know if you still want to do some shit like this, but I know you need the money. So, judgment call again. What do you want to do? What in the world? Two cameras at once? Yeah, that might be on behind the scenes. And it must be rough, dude. Like, can you imagine leaving your kid? Like, because I feel like if you're leaving your kid like that, you're definitely going in with the mindset that, I might die. So, I mean, because why else are you leaving her? You're not acting like you're going to be right back. You're weighing those options. Like, that could be a definitive thing for me in the near future. Because, shit hitting the fan, dude.
Well, then he talks to old girl.
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Lisa.
You're
killing me, Lisa.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't do it. I did not.
He talked to her just like that. I thought it was a great impression.
So my note, I have the oh my Jesus, what did I have? Way too forward.
Uh-oh. You need to get some paper, bro.
Okay, so when he's talking to old girl,
yeah,
he's explaining about his wife.
Yeah.
And what happened to his wife. And so in most scenes like that in a movie, it's kind of good to have a little bit of like a flash of whatever it is, like maybe a moment where it flashes and it's them too happy.
I'm so glad they didn't.
I'm so glad they didn't.
Yeah, have you imagine her it's like doing flat, like you just see it in his face. That's all you need is Van Damme's face. Van Damme is such.
I said that you didn't even have to have a flashback because you could see on his face like what had happened. Like you could see what happened without having any kind, which I thought was pretty cool and unique.
And I love that he shared that with Lisa. I wouldn't have liked it if he shared it with like anybody else because I think it's more of a reserved thing for him. But that helps me care about his relationship with Lisa more because you can tell he takes a liking to her. You can tell he's like, these people are fuck ups. I'm working for them as I have to, but you can be something else. I see something in you. I've been through some shit. And then another thing, what did he say too, that also opened the door for him to be like, did the cops get him? Like, they didn't, but I did. Showing you that he's not your normal guy. Like, he fucking went and found however many people and just killed them.
And he didn't explain it. He just told her,
handle my business. There's a lot of just vague stuff. If you piece it together, you're like, this dude is a badass. He might not be, and even then in the movie, he might have been roundhouse kicking badass, but he's older now. He'll still get the job done, but maybe not like he used to, type of deal. Which I really liked. Which I also love how this is kind of what you were saying. They keep the origins vague, so we can be vague on that. I thought that was great. Didn't know I was walking into that note. You did say something about that already.
What?
Kind of how they kept his origins vague. You talked about that a little bit. I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit more, but
I just really like that.
Me too.
I thought it was a strong element of the film.
Yeah, it bared repeating.
It's one of those things that keeps you tied into the film.
This film in general is like a really good example of less is more. Like every time you're like, they're going to do it. No, okay. Kept it vague, and they let you put it together with your mind. Lisa, though, when she had to have lost her shit, dude. Well, you saw it. She did lose her shit when she found out that Van Damme was the rat. And he walks up in there, and she's like, what the fuck? No.
I did not like this scene.
You didn't?
No, really? I did not find it believable.
Okay.
I couldn't. And I don't think it was even... The weird part is I don't think it was Van Damme. I think it was her.
I do, too.
I think her act...
There is something I really... Yeah, like when I watch that scene, too, I feel like there is something. It doesn't feel as legit as the other scenes, and I think it is her too. Van Damme's got that same like quiet, like look, we got to do this, but he's explaining.
So simple.
She's like, it's bullshit, and he's just sitting there, but it's not bullshit.
It's like she went a little extreme, over the top. Like she went out of the movie tone.
I could see that.
For this scene,
I could see that. Yeah, because I kind of agree. I think so too. But I guess it makes sense for, I don't know, it just felt a little uneven compared to everything else, where everything else is just so streamlined and focused, like down to every little element. Where do I put this in? Where do I do this? How much do we show here? Seems like there's a really good grasp on what they're going for.
Yeah.
There is something I loved about this scene, though, because when she's got like her hands over, you talk about cliches and shit all the time. I would have hated this when she had her hands like this and he's standing in front of her and he's like talking to her about being like a better person and shit, and he's like moving her hand slowly and he's like inches away from her face. I'm so glad they didn't do like the fucking old man, fucking young chick type of like.
Oh my god, I was
emotional.
waiting for
yes,
it too.
exactly.
But
you
I'm
can
so
feel
glad
it,
they didn't.
But he stayed the character of fucking like just being like just like I just care about you. Like I care about your well-being. You can be a good person. I love how they kept it on that because if he would have kissed her, it'd have been fucking.
Well, see, this is
weird.
where, and not to bring up a different movie at this time, but The Rental.
Yeah.
When we watched The Rental, this is my one of the tropes that I have problems with is a solid movie. And like this movie right here has no need for,
like, well,
no,
the
no.
reason why is because
We're
you
talking
know
about the bouncer.
there was a reason for the trope. There was no reason for this trope.
But
you didn't have to do it.
In this movie, there was no need for romance at all.
No.
Like none. And the girl, you could maybe argue that there could be a romance between the two, but it's not. His and hers relationship is better this way. And for them to, if they would have put that, emotion into it, it would have made it. I don't think I would have liked it. It would have took me away from it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it as much either, for sure. And then you get to see Jan. You know some shit is hitting the fan when he's just sitting in the middle of your fucking living room when you open the door. That is a problem. And then, he takes him. He's like, how bad is it? Oh, how about police raid bad? And Van Damme at this point is like, shit, here we go. This is getting real. And then he takes him to a dude you met earlier. He goes to his house, and Jan is just beating the shit out of this fucking guy, dude. And Van Damme, I can only imagine how hard that was for him in the moment because he's watching it. And I feel like Jan's even testing him in a way, too. Like, he knows, like, he doesn't think that Van Damme's a rat, but he covers all his bases. So there's, like, things he's saying, he's just like, this guy would never, but it's almost like he's putting guilt into him, too. And he's also saying, like, he went to bat for me. Like, and he's, like, looking at him while he's saying it, almost to see if, like, he's like, is there something with that? But he doesn't actually come out and say, like, right. You can just see that that's what he's going for. And then he even asks, like, well, what about, like, him as a rat? Even when he says that, like, I can only imagine Van Damme just how horrible you'd feel in the moment. Even if you feel like that dude's a piece of shit or whatever, like, you're just like, this guy is most likely about to die, and I'm sitting here and this is all my fault. Like, that would be so hard not to break character, and I think that's another reason why he kept looking back at him, because he didn't want, like, he wanted to see if he'd crack, if he had some type of heart for the situation. So that had to have been very, very hard on him. And I like how they set all that up, dude, because I thought that was great. And I think Jan, when he walks away, too, he says something like, it can change in like a minute. And he even says, like, kind of what you thought. You're like, oh, my God, like, this dude can really just switch it up on a dime and kill you. So don't fuck up. And if you're fucking up behind the scenes, don't let them know or sense that you're fucking up behind the damn scene, dude. And then you get to the final showdown, man. And I gotta tell you, you can see it on Van Damme's face. He knows it's coming. He's sitting there like, how's this gonna go down? What am I gonna do? He's probably wondering where I fit in all this. Will this be easy? Like, can I get out the back door? He probably maybe even thought about running at one point. And when he saw them pulling up, when he did go out the back door, he sees the cars in the distance. He knows. You can see it in his face. He knows. He's like, here we go. This is about to be it. The final shebang. And I got to tell you, man, before I even get into like every little detail about this, there's some people I've watched this movie with that didn't like the ending. The question is, was Rodney one of them? And I wish I could ask that, and I almost can. I'm on that ending scene now. You picked the worst time to piss. Yeah, I basically told everybody about how he's like, you can tell he's like tripping out, like, how's this going to go? And then he goes out the back and sees him pulling up, and then he goes back in, and that's basically where we are.
Yep. With the duffel bag. He put the duffel bag in the trunk.
Yeah, the guys come in, and they're like, basically like, okay, you're good. And I love the look on like Jan's face. He's like, it was you, motherfucker. Yeah. Again, without saying it, but you can see it in his eyes. And then what does Jan do?
Dude, the most badass thing.
Jan
the thing I wish every villain would do something like this. This is thinking on your feet. Dude.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just gonna. And then he just puts the gun down. He fucking shoots Van Damme, and Van Damme's even like, ooh. The way he looks is like that just happened. Like I love the way he reacts to getting shot. Like I think that's.
And then I knew immediately that the other guys were dirty because nobody fired a shot at him after that.
Yeah,
and they handcuffed him.
But I honestly, I feel like you could see all this coming, but for some reason I didn't. Like I didn't at all.
I did not at all until that scene.
Yeah, and that's what was great about it. Like I love the feeling of like him getting shot, and then the music was about to kick in again, and you hear him like, "Get all the money over here, guys," and you're just kind of like that washing over you with the music, and then they fucking shoot Lisa.
Yeah,
I was like, "Holy shit, dude! This is going a complete different direction than I thought." And like Van Damme shot right now. Mm-hmm. Holy shit! And then he's laying on the ground, and you hear that doom, 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 and it's almost like the whole movie has been building to this, and that sound, the fucking like score to it, is almost like his heartbeat. Like that's what I picture, because this final scene, that's what that fucking mimics, is like his heartbeat. It's almost like you can hear his heartbeat, and it's trying to give out because he has been fatally wounded. And I love how old asshole Raul comes over, and he's like, "You still not dead yet, huh?" And then out of nowhere, Van Damme just fucking boom, and he's put him down, and he's over there like reaching, trying to get to the gun. And I love how he's screaming like a bitch. He's like, "Nico, Nico!" Like he knows he fucked up, and he keeps dragging him away. And then the music kind of cuts while it's going on, like because it's intense. And then he punches him one time, and that music kicks in again, like doom, doom, doom.
And it was a hard hit.
Yeah, and he's just going over and over again.
And he
like
thought
slow
about it after
powerful.
The first one.
Yeah, and you just kind of see him kind of let go from a distance. There's stuff blocking it. They take that shot from far away, and then he falls back over because he doesn't have much to give. He's been shot, and it looks fucking serious. And you see dude laying next to him, and he's dead. He also see where there was a point where he looked over at Jan, and he was just bloodied out and dead. And he's just laying there, and you're wondering, like, what's going to happen now? Well, Nico and whoever the fuck come walking in. And he's kind of laid over like this. And then when they're coming to check on him, they're like, "Oh, my God, what happened to Zarul or whatever?" And he just goes, bam, bam, kills them. Music kicks in again. You're just like, holy shit, like, what is going on? Comes out, like, fires at another dude, fucking goes back in, and he goes, like, get in the car with all this little heart-thumping music going. Mm-hmm. And you're wondering, like, what the fuck is going to go on? And he calls, who else? His daughter. He's asking, like, "Are you okay?" And he doesn't really know how to lie to her. He's like, "Yeah, like, I'm coming to get you," type of deal. And really, all you see is those fucking lights kick on, and he at least, what I feel 100% is just attempting to go get her. But he won't get there, type of deal. And it cuts to black. And this is where I was talking about with them, while you walked away.
I did.
Some people don't like the vagueness of it. I love it.
I didn't. I can't. Because
so you're looking at it a completely different way.
Yeah, but those kind of endings, he should have just. I mean, if they would have ended it with him in the truck chilling, and then he dies, and then cut to black, I'd have been groovy on that. But the fact that they had to do that stupid, like, tail light thing, like it's the same thing Inception did. It's the same thing Drive did. There are movies for days that have done this.
Yeah.
And some are executed well, and some just aren't. And this one just didn't work for me. That's all.
I think it's all in how you take it. To me, you right off the bat.
Those are good words.
Yeah, those are words. I know some of these words. Yeah, you basically are like, did he get there? Did he not? I hate that type of ending. Which I like a make it up for yourself ending. I think you do a lot of the time anyways. But to me, it all comes full circle in that. And I feel like it comes full circle when you watch it. That beat is like his heartbeat. And it all boils down at the end of the day. This is a guy that got wrapped up in some shit, that was living off of routine and loving his daughter and trying to make some type of way to live in this world without his wife, that got caught up in a fucked up situation, probably trying to forget other crazy shit from his past. And the only thing keeping him going on is his daughter. and that fucking heartbeat is only going because of his daughter. And in that moment, I feel like because of the plot of the film and what you really realize is what it's most about, even in that, like, I don't even know how this fell down at some point. It might have been down the whole time. It's his daughter. It was supposed to be up, though. When it was, bye-bye. So the point is he could have just died right there, but it makes it even more impactful to me that it's doing that last thing. Like, this movie is way too grounded. It does everything right in that kind of category. There's nothing fucking like fabricated. There's nothing like, oh, how did that happen? It just feels real. The whole entire movie just feels so real that he's going to die. The heartbeat is like, this is where he's at right now. He's not doing good. And that was from the very beginning of the movie. You heard that, which led to this. And him starting the car wasn't that thing where you're like, did he make it? Did he not? Like some of the other movies you mentioned, it was just him giving his last whim just to at least attempt to get to his daughter, because that is the only thing that drives him. And it's a sad type of ending because you realize that he's definitely going to die. And it's sad because he's trying to get there, but he won't. And seeing him physically start up the car rather than just dying. If he just dies, it's like, oh, man, that's sad. Like, where was he going to go? What was he going to do? Him talking on the phone, him just, like, finding the energy to be like, hey, babe, how you doing, whatever. And he's like, I got to go. They could have extended the scene, and he could have pulled out a little further and fell on the horn and died like that. But I feel like, again, that goes with the vagueness. That's going to happen, so you don't have to see it. So that's why I don't take it in the way you're taking it. I don't think they were going for that ending. I think they were definitively going for, he's given his last breaths to go after his daughter, to try to be there for one last time. And I
definitely like where your head's at on it.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely what it's about. And I think everything else in the movie kind of points towards that, especially the more you watch it. The Bouncer. This was actually a really long review about The Bouncer. I have a feeling our other review is not going to be as long, but we'll see. What did you give this movie, Rodney?
I'm
like
gonna.
This is tough because it's like on the spot and it just happened.
Yeah.
You need to kind of like.
Yeah, I definitely need some time to think about it. But as of right now, I'll stand at a 6.5 right now.
Jesus.
But that, honestly, for me, and it's a drama with Van Damme.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I didn't even want to watch it, to be honest with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a drama. It's Van Damme. I haven't watched a Van Damme movie in a while anyway, so might as well check it out. And I liked it more than I didn't.
Yeah.
So, but I'll do some
100%.
thinking on it. But I mean, my score could change. But
Yeah.
as of right now, 6.5.
You had to deduct those points for the carrot cut.
Damn
I
carrots,
fucking knew
man.
it, dude.
Gotta cut 'em right.
Yeah, whatever. I gave it a 8.5 out of 10. And realistically, I actually do think this is a great movie. I think it deserves like about an 8. I really do think that. Like, it doesn't do anything overly special, but it's an amazing movie for that type of movie that's like a quiet, grounded movie that shows more than tells and just is grounded to the very end. And it has a realistic ending, especially with this story. I thought the whole thing was great for what it was, and it's nothing groundbreaking, but I think this is an 8 out of 10 movie. It gets an 8.5 out of 10 because Van Damme's my dog, and seeing him in these type of movies gets me hyped because I always said dude could act if he gets the right shit, and I still stand by that. But this movie, man, it's just, I don't know. It's a great one. And honestly, like, when Van Damme comes out in movies anymore and I see, like, kicks in the fucking trailers, like, that Van Damme's gone. That needs to be let go of. Every time I see shit like that, I'm like, dude, I'm just past this now. That was his golden years. When I see the rare movies like this and JCVD, which you also got to watch, you get an emotional scene where he breaks down crying in that. Good movie, great acting by Van Damme there as well. Those are the movies now where I'm like, I like that he tries this shit out and tests his boundaries. Like, I don't need to see the high kicks that aren't as good as his golden years anymore. He needs to be in more serious movies like this. So that, my friends, is The Bouncer.
The Bouncer.
Yes, we about to bounce on out of here.
Bounce.
Cut it before we hit an hour.